Hope, an optimistic attitude of mind based on expectation of positive outcomes. Inspiration, an outside influence that makes someone want to do something positive. Together, these are two very powerful forces. Stuart Hayim's life has been an embodiment of these two words. He has a history of winning, in competition and in life. In offshore racing, he has won 67 of 80 races. He won 4 world titles and 3 USA number ones, and although retired for many years, is still considered one of the most successful in the history of the sport. In life, Stuart is a cancer survivor and has spent over 3 decades giving back, donating all of his winnings in offshore to the place that cured his disease, the Monti Cancer Research Foundation, totaling nearly $1 million, and offering hope and inspiration to cancer patients everywhere.
Other patients, who were treated by our foundation and who did very well, and there are thousands and thousands of them, many remember us, but no one that I can think of keeps this foundation alive in their hearts and in the efforts that they make to help us more than Stuart. In terms of remembering the foundation, keeping us as part of his family, and giving back to us through the years.
In 1989, Stuart set the 271-mile around Long Island record of 3 hours and 6 minutes. This record stood for 22 years and was broken by only 1 minute in 2011. In 2012, Stuart smashed this mark by nearly an hour, setting the bar at 2 hours, 11 minutes, and raised $130,000 for the Don Monti Cancer Research Foundation. On September 3, 2015, Stuart set out to break his own record and raise money for his favorite charity and inspire even more cancer patients.
I wanted to set the bar so high that it would be not years but decades. Tremendous technology would have to happen for someone to break it again. And also because it was a venue around Long Island that's interesting, familiar to me, and nearest the most number of people, highest density of population, so we could raise the most amount of money.
The sea was dead calm. The 52-foot MTI catamaran with twin 1,650-horse engines was tested and ready, with longtime friend and throttleman, world champion Joey Imprescia on the throttles.
The idea at 68 and a half plus years old was to raise money one more time for charity, raise hopes like always, and to give me one more fun ride, and to do it with the same old team that I knew, have enjoyed, prospered with them, from them, and by them for 30 plus years.
The seaplane with 2 medics, cameramen, and family aboard was ready. Sanctioning official Billy Friends, executive director of the National Powerboat Association, had Coast Guard permits in place and was on the start-finish boat, ready to certify the results. The New York media had been alerted, and conditions were what Stuart waited for all summer. The start was excellent. And with all that experience and talent in the cockpit, it was game on. The cat speeds climbed to over 140 miles per hour. Their speed increased to over 150 miles per hour. As the team approached the northeast tip of Long Island, only 26 minutes had elapsed, and it seemed the record would surely be crushed once again. But as they turned into Plum Gut, heading to Montauk, an intense fog bank quickly engulfed both the seaplane and the boat. A green buoy appeared out of the fog, and Stuart suddenly had less than 1 second to avoid disaster. As you can see in the slow motion replay, Stuart fought the wheel to save the lives of his crew. We talked to Stu shortly after the accident.
This was inches from a tragedy. And as much as I'm grateful that we're here and safe, I'm still frustrated that we were, pick a number, 20, 25% ahead of the record. Killing it. Killing the record that no one can touch. We weren't going to break it, we were going to kill it. The bad news is that the fog came. And when it did, it just wiped out visibility, and we had no time to see a buoy. Well, we had time, about 1 second to see the buoy, but not enough time to avoid the buoy. First, I could say I'm unlucky. How did I get sick at 32? Or I could say, gee, am I lucky? How did I was one who got better? Today with the buoy, we've come full circle. Is it fortunate that we're here? Yes. Is it unfortunate that we're not here having champagne and having smashed the record? Yeah. Do you want to count the donuts or do you want to count the holes?
A few days later, Stuart appeared on NBC television in New York.
A cancer survivor who's dedicated his life to bringing awareness and helping raise funds for those fighting disease is joining us tonight to talk about his cause and to share his close call during a race around Long Island. Stuart Hayim is the president of the Experience Auto Group and a 4-time world champion. Stuart, a lot of people would have gone through that and said, you know what, one and done, I'm good, no more. But you're not quitting, you're ready to go back on the water. Why?
The message of giving hope and inspiration, those two powerful words of don't give up, of be an active patient, were very important to me. When I was 32 years old and diagnosed, I was visited by someone who had been sick 10 years earlier, and his mere presence gave me hope and inspiration. And I made a decision to give that back. And the boat was what I call a very loud, colorful, visible hospital visit to show other people that you can be sick, that you can get better, that there can be good endings to these stories, but you have to do your part, and quitting isn't part of that part.
Stuart Hayim will be back to challenge the record books and raise more money for cancer research. But his real legacy may just be hope and inspiration.